All right, guys. So we're in the second week of October, and we're going to be viewing the currency pairs I'm going to be looking at for this week. So most of you guys know, I already gave you the set pairs that I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be looking at 4 different other pairs that you guys suggest the most, currency pairs that you guys post in the chat. And then I'll take a look and take a glance, but I'm going to be looking at gold, silver, NAS 100, US 30, XP5 100, and platinum. I might be looking at copper, so I'm basically looking at all of the metals and all of the indices pairs, because I feel like those are the pairs that I'm really, that I know how those pairs move. And then Cameron and Michael will be looking at all of the euro and USD and British pound pairs. So, so you guys have a better outlook of what pairs, who's going to be giving out what, and be more organized. So, so I'm going to be looking at for 4 different pairs that you guys want me to drop, so you guys could drop them right now before I get ahead and going over all of the indices and metals right now. So we have Euro AUD, that's 1. GBP JPY, that's 2. Euro USD, so that's 3. I need 1 more. USD CAD. All right, awesome. No more pairs. So those are the first 4. I'm gonna go over those. So let's take a look at Euro USD. So let's take a look at the daily time frame. So we can see here, this is still a continuation of the downtrend as well too. You can see here that it already surpassed, coming up to a new resistance level here. So we mark this up. Actually, let's take a look at the weekly. So we all could see that the weekly is still a downtrend as well too. There's really no strength of Euro USD pushing to the upside. Going down to the daily. Now looking down on the 4-hour time frame. You can see here we had nice, clear rejections here. On the 4-hour time frame, we're currently in low consolidation here, right? Hey, if you guys have background noise, please mute yourself. Thank you. So we're already seeing kind of low consolidation here, right? So EU is definitely not ready to make a move yet. I want it to break up to the upside, so giving us a confirmation that it's gonna come down. So where I'm looking for at least is to come up to this price area. So let's move this horizontal ray up here. So we need to look for an extension, right? Expansion. So if you look at it in a 1-hour time frame, we want this to break up to the upside first. Break to the upside first. And then we're going to be looking for EU coming down for the rest of this week. Right? Coming down to surpass this previous low and the last support. So this is the price area that I'll be looking for short opportunities. So currently right now, we're still in a nice box here. We want this to break up. We had kind of like a double top up here, but it's still pushing to the upside. It's still not ready for the short opportunity. So this is where I'm actually looking for it to go up and then come back down. If you take a look at it on the 15-minute, this is what it looks like, right? So you can see here from the higher time frames breaking it down, you can see that we're still in low consolidation. We want this to break up to the upside, and then we'll capitalize on it for the rest of this week. So I'm gonna add that to the watch list. Then also we're gonna look at GBP, JPY. I know it opened up with a huge gap, I believe. Let me take a look at the MT4. Let's see. So we have a gap here that needs to be filled up, going up. Let's take a look at the daily time frame, right? So daily time frame, we're looking like we already saw like a nice low high being created. Going down to the 4-hour time frame. Definitely seeing British pound pairs being weak. And then let's go down to the 1-hour time frame. So I'm gonna mark up where this gap that needs to be filled here. So So 131.726. Going down to the 15-minute time frame. So you can see here, there's a gap. If you guys take a look on your MetaTrader 4, there's a gap that needs to be filled. So just like how EU, how I expected for it to create its expansion, we want this to go up, right? Once it goes up and it fills that gap, right? So that former support becomes your new resistance level here. So you already had your box here. This became your expansion, and this is going to fill up for this opening for your profit weight. But where it's going to get rejected is going to come down to here, and I have GJ still dropping for the rest of this week. So we have very, very crucial news on October 10th and the 11th. So especially on all of the trade talks. So that is going to be a very important. I'm actually going to be dropping the Zooms just because like I want to capitalize on that big move, because that big move is going to be very, very big, and there's going to be a lot of money to be made. So especially with all of the yen pairs, the USD CHF pairs, all being affected with the news. So with GJ, definitely feel this gap coming for the next 2 to 3 days. It probably might take some time, or probably even happen just during the London session, and then we'll capitalize on that and then look for the short opportunity to ride this down. So taking a look at GJ, so we have that gap that needs to be filled. So if you guys want to take that opportunity, you guys can, and make sure you have that at that price at 131.726, and then that gap should be filled. So USD CAD. So let's look for the week. So we're already seeing some high-low pressures pushing up opportunities, right? We're seeing buying pressures pushing up to the upside. If we go down to the daily time frame, you can see here, it came down and created a new low, came up, created a high, came down, created a new high, low, high, low. So currently right now, I'm gonna take a look also on the MT4, because I'm seeing a lot of pairs being gapped recently in the past few weeks. So USD CAD is gonna fill up that gap right about here. Let's put this price here. So 133.106. If we go down to the 4-hour time frame, you could see it. So it created a new high. It needs to come down. 1-hour time frame. Oh look, it's already moving as we speak. So 15-minute time frame. So we're expecting this to come down here. This will be a great buy limit entry to come down here. So we might see some movements preparing itself for a London session tomorrow morning. So during London, we should expect USD CAD just to come down to fill this gap and then completely take off to the upside. Right? Because seeing this gap needs to be covered. So it's not ready for an opportunity yet. This has still been a strong uptrend, even though if you're looking at even the 15-minute, this is still kind of like we're still ranging here with low volume here. And it's just been creating major box opportunities. Right. So make sure you guys have 133.106 for USD CAD. I would highly suggest putting a buy limit there and then capitalizing for the rest of this week. And then we should ride that momentum pretty smoothly. So that is the overview for USD CAD. I know we wanted to look at AUD JPY. Why does it gap? Because there's a lot of buying and selling pressures. So like, you know, where a lot of people, they're taking a lot of orders when market close. So they're going whatever that had the most volume at the time. And then when market opens up, that's when the gap gets filled. So if there was a lot of buying pressure before market closing, that's going to affect how the market opens and dictates how the market flow goes for the rest of the week. So it's a very normal thing for gaps to actually happen. If people are paying attention to it, they can make money off it. If you don't, you know, it's just preparing you for the overall setup, if that makes sense. All right, so AUD JPY. So let's see. So we'll look at it from the weekly. So we're obviously seeing a nice bearish engulfing candle here. Going down to the daily. So you can see here, this past support became the new resistance level, right? So we're just seeing a short opportunity, but we want to wait. Seeing that if it might pull up, so it might retest this previous support, because this is a nice support area that I want to look for, since we already look like we already created a nice low. So we want this to either come up to this price area, right? I mean, not there, because we're already on a complete downtrend, right? So this is kind of like a fake candle here. So we want this to retest back to where this previous support and then capitalize and coming down to create a new low, which will be down here. So we should see more activity during London, but overall, this is what we're going to be looking for. We want this to retest here. So if we're looking down on the 1 hour time frame, you can see here it created a box as well. And it broke up to the upside. So it's still not done with this whole expansion yet. I mean, yeah, the expansion. And then this will become our profit wave. For AJ. All right, so most of you guys probably saw that I said that I have gold gapping down, right? So we have about 4 minutes before all of the metals and dicey pairs opens up. So I'm gonna take a look at gold. So gold is definitely pushing up to the upside, as we could see. So major box reactions, expansions, and creating new highs on gold. We came down. We're also seeing a nice morning star, even on the daily time frame. Looking at the 4 hour, it's looking like a nice inverted head and shoulders here. So we should see gold to gap down, right? Where did I have this? Yeah, we should see gold to gap down before it pushes back up. So we want it to open. If it gaps down, we're immediately buying it to fill that gap, and it's still going to be a continuation to the upside. If we're looking at all the yen pairs to be dropping for the rest of the week, we should be looking gold to be taking off to the upside and all the yen pairs dropping. US 30 should gap up and then we're going to be looking to be shorting all of the indices pairs. So even though we saw an inverted head and shoulders here, we should see it come down and have a whole complete gap on it, and then take off to the upside. So on gold, US 30 should gap up. It shouldn't be a crazy gap, to be honest, but it could possibly gap up to where this previous low high is, right? And then looking for short opportunities. So looking at it even on the daily time frame, you could see here, made a whole triple bottom here, came down, created a nice high low because this candle closed above this previous low, and it created a bullish engulfing candle as well. So we should see this coming up with the gap. Looking at a 4-hour time frame, becomes more of a clear picture going up. And then, but the overall move is that we're looking for short opportunities just because of this whole trade talks with China and the US. So a lot of momentum coming down. So we should capitalize on this and filling up the gaps. So all of the indices pairs, they're all going to be moving the exact same way. So NAS 100, it's going to be moving the exact same way. XP 500 is going to be moving the exact same way. Looking at it even on the 15-minute time frame. So this is still like a huge gap for it to fill, but most likely I wanted to see it come up to here to gap up, because this is where the last previous high low that broke down, and we'll capitalize on it fully. So having this short opportunity here, so this should be a very, very interesting week for all of the indices pairs, because we're going to see a lot of movements, and we're going to be capitalizing on all of the movements that's going to be happening. So that is US 30 there. Silver is going to be doing the exact same thing. You know, we already saw a nice complete resistance level, came down, and it closed below it, right, on a daily time frame. But overall, this is still an uptrend. Going out to the 4-hour time frame, we're seeing here, we have our left shoulder here, we have our head, creating a nice inverted head and shoulders. So exact same thing, silver is gonna gap down as well. And then we're gonna capitalize on the whole complete uptrend. So, but we're gonna be looking for it, once it gaps up, once it gaps down, we're gonna buy it. And then once it fills that gap, if it closes, oh, there we go. Let's see. I wish TradingView could just update on all the gaps on here as well. All right, so perfect. So we have silver as we speak right now. It opened up. It's bullish, but it's coming down with a small little gap that needs to be filled. But overall, it's a complete uptrend that we're looking for, pushing to the upside. So looking at it on the 1-hour time frame, you can see here, we're seeing we saw a nice support, high-low opportunities, high-low opportunities. So this should still keep pushing up to the upside, since we had a very, very bearish market for the past 2 weeks on all of the metals. So we should see this to push up to the upside, and we should be able to capitalize on it. So I won't expect this to really move like even tonight, most likely Tuesday. That's what I'm really, really aiming for, but I'll keep my eyes on it for even Monday, because we have been seeing a lot of activity happening with silver lately. So so that is silver. XP 500. Let's take a look at here, since the market has opened now. All right, so we have, let's just dive into 15 minutes, because that's where a lot of our entry is going to be going. So we already saw, so XP 500 all the indices pairs looks like it all gapped it down, right? So gapped it down. We're still in an uptrend on it, right? So it's gonna be pushing to the upside. So if you guys even take a look on your MT4, you see a huge gap that needs to be filled where see where it's gonna be closing. So let's put my horizontal array, settings. So 2.9. So this is, you guys buy XP 500 right now. I'm giving out the TP for it. It's 2.5.31. Hold on, let me give out the entry here. All right, so, geez, this is so hard to be multitasking right now. All right, so I hope did everyone get in the buy on XP 500? If you did, give me a 1 in the chat.
What?
I don't want you guys to announce 1. I said in the chat.
Hello?
You're saying what to me? Like, really? Why you have to be so freaking rude?
Because I'm on a call.
All right. So, common sense, you know, we see the gaps. NAS 100, I'm gonna also give that up as a buy as well. Let's see. Okay. All right, so did everyone enter on all the positions that I gave out? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Awesome, awesome. Yeah. All right, so most of you guys know we're gonna be looking for, I'm gonna give out, don't worry about not giving out the stop loss for it. I'm gonna be giving out stop profits once we get more momentum into it. And then you guys can set it and forget it. And then we're gonna capitalize on the momentum once we see a rejection, and then we're gonna be riding it down. Same as for all, inversely with all of the metals that I gave out. So I hope you guys enjoyed just like the 4 pairs that I went over. Oh my God, damn GJ. Whew. So if you guys bought GJ, this is where we're gonna be looking to short. We might see some activity coming up a little bit higher, coming up to this period's low, low high, and then looking for short opportunities if it still continuously to push. But overall, it's really setting the tone for the rest of this week, and then we'll capitalize on this. So just be aware, we'll be hosting a lot of New York sessions. I'm not gonna be bothering to do London sessions for Zooms. So New York sessions is gonna be at 5:15 a.m. PST time. I will announce it in advance, so you guys have some time to set that as an alarm, and then we'll capitalize on it, and then we'll set the tone and have a great week this week.